You're listening to the She's Crafty podcast, a comedy and craft beer podcast taped in San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo, breakfast tacos, and the best craft beer in the Lone Star State. The She's Crafty podcast is sponsored by BarbacoApparel. BarbacoApparel is a San Antonio-based independent clothing line that caters to Texans and Texans at heart. To buy your BarbacoApparel and to find out which events they'll be at next, go to BarbacoApparel.com.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of the She's Crafty podcast. My name is Catherine Contreras. I'm your host, and we're here at Altmeyer and Lewis Brewing in San Marcos, Texas. Pretty fucking awesome. You guys have a great brewery here. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful out here.
We wanted to call it the mechanic shop, but that name was already taken.
Wasn't it?
No, thank you. I'm glad you guys could be out here today.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Stuart Altmeyer. I'm one of the co-founders and brewers here at Altmeyer and Lewis.
Nice.
I'm Byron Lewis. Also, my name is on the sign. So
The other half?
The other half. Yeah.
Very nice. And we also have a musical guest. Hello
Hey,
there.
I'm Shane Walker, musical guest.
Perfect. Exactly. Is that just like what it says on your driver's license? Musical guest?
My band name is Organ Donor. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Super exciting. So, guys, tell me a little bit about the brewery and like how much beer you guys make and all that kind of jazz.
Well, founded in 2013, Altmeyer and Lewis Brewing Company is San Marcos. Okay. No, little history about Stu and I. We're actually brothers-in-law. We're married to sisters from the Wimberley Valley.
Very nice.
Stu's been brewing a lot longer than I have, but I kind of found a passion for it, and in all truths, he bought me my first homebrew kit, so that was
nice.
It kind of got me rolling, and it was in 2013 the idea was conceived, and he was in a position to be here in the Hill Country. I was in a position to be here in the Hill Country, and so we started working on the idea, and here we are in 2017, and we've been open since November.
Pretty exciting. Yeah. It's a big fucking deal to open a brewery.
It's tough.
It's not like you just be like, you know what I want to do? I want to make some beer. It's a long road, right?
It is. It's a lot of, I have a science background, legal background, and had to use every bit of that and then bring in countless other people to help.
Yeah. So you started as a home brewer, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I started home brewing in high school.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Illegal home brewing?
Yeah.
Under your bed?
My mom and dad were...
Oh, they were into it.
They were aware.
Okay.
I grew up in West Virginia.
Okay.
And so I had been in an incident with a cousin of mine. It would be the equivalent in Texas of a minor in possession, but it all got taken care of very informally.
Okay.
Those were good old days.
Yeah.
And my mom's response, I guess they changed the law to allow home brewing in 1994. And so my mom's response was to get me a kit and tell me not to go try and buy beer at the Quickie Mart anymore.
Nice.
And,
that's a smart mom.
Yeah.
She's setting you up, setting up your future.
Went from there.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I've had more than one guest on the show tell me that they started by like sneaky home brewing under their bed, which I was like prison style, just like fruit in your toilet, just hoping it's gonna ferment.
Bread from the pantry.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Bread and raisins.
That's pretty awesome. So do you
Ziploc
remember
bag.
what your first beer style was that you homebrewed?
Yeah, it was, and this dates it. My mom bought it from, I think, in Sky Mall magazine, but it was the beer in a bag. Do you remember that?
No.
It was a bag. You poured boiling water into a hole in.
Okay.
Closed it off, shook it up. I'm sure there was some malt extract in there.
Yeah.
You shook it up, you waited till it cooled, and the next day you pitched the dry yeast in there. And then over the course of the next week and a half, the bag started swelling. and then the bag also had a tap on it, so you then hung the bag in a fridge, and then you could just like pour beer off the bag. It was thoroughly disgusting.
Was it? How hard was it to get your friends to drink your home
Well,
brew?
you know, when you'll
drink anything.
When you're 17 and 18, you know, it was easier to get beer back then, so it was a little harder to get them to drink it. But you know, we drank it. It had effects that, you know.
Was it stronger than regular beer?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was, and yeah, we there were 4 of us that got pretty wasted drinking that thing.
Nice.
And you know, my mom thought that like we'd savor it over time, and then like, you know, we opened it.
Oh, that you'd like talk about the notes and shit.
Yeah, and the next morning it was gone.
Yeah,
it was gone.
That's funny.
You were doing bag stands.
But,
yeah.
But at that point, it was like, well, you know, this is kind of an interesting, you know, this is kind of cool. And so then we got more legitimate equipment and kind of kept at it. You know, speaking of that, I did get in trouble at Tulane for brewing in my dorm room. The drinking age was 18.
Oh yeah, they frown on that.
Yeah,
right?
I thought it'd be cool.
Weird.
You know, the drinking age in Louisiana at that time was 18, so I thought it was all kosher. But yeah, there's rules against fermenting and especially boiling large cauldrons of things in your your dorm
I got in
room.
trouble one time. I went to UT, but we got in trouble for making margaritas like in the hallway, and I was like, what?
They didn't mind the slip and slide, just the margaritas.
Yeah, just the margaritas in the hallway. They were like, you can't do this. And I was like, I don't.
You can't sell tamales either.
Yeah, you can't. Like, right? What the hell? You can't use the guy's bathroom. I was like, it's the only one that's open. I don't understand.
And one of my favorite things back then is we would go to the Walmart, which where I grew up, we didn't have Walmart. So the first time I saw Walmart, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But they had 3-liter jugs of cranberry juice that didn't have preservatives.
Okay.
So I would open them up, pitch yeast, pour a little off, pitch yeast, and like leave the cap kind of loose till it got like, you know, kind of through its mojo, and then there was still a little action left. I'd tighten that lid down and duct tape it, you know, to keep the lid down.
Yeah.
And
so
then
it doesn't
shove them under my bed. And I got busted for that too. The RA came in, he's like, what are all, I think they thought I was making meth or something. I was like, no, it's cranberry champagne.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
That's pretty amazing. Well, that was good for you because that means you didn't have to go begging other people to buy you alcohol. You just fucking making it.
Yeah. No hey misters.
Yeah. So we have some beer in front of us.
There is, so this is our first of, I think we've got 6 samples today.
Oh my God, let's party. Yeah, let's do it. I'm not driving.
And so Stu didn't want me to pour this, but I think it tastes good. So this first one up is our German lager. So it's a traditional Pilsner style lager. And that's something that we are proud of, is that we are completely Reinheitsgebot compliant. I feel like I need a better accent with that. German pure law of purity.
Right.
So 4 basic ingredients in that, no more, no less. You know, everything is step mashed through. We ferment. We leave our lagers in for a minimum of 60 days minimum.
Okay.
And just check gravities and watch them. And we really don't let any beer out the door unless we're good with it. So
no biofine, no artificial clarifiers, we don't even use Irish moss, which I'm not like anti-Irish moss or anything, but just we don't feel we need it, so why
it's delicious.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I get a little nervous. I think I kegged this back in April.
Oh.
So that's why I'm a little...
We've got a pretty good shelf life.
It's good though. I love it. It's good.
So yeah.
This is like you know why I like this in particular is because it's like a beer for everybody. And I think like people would really love this.
You know what? And going into this, and he's around here somewhere, but our father-in-law Gary Brown, our stepfather-in-law, bonus dad is what they call him.
Yeah. Step is so harsh.
He is a dyed-in-the-wool Bud Light fanatic.
Yeah.
And so we started working on recipes and looking, and we knew we wanted to do lagers anyway. It's Texas. It's too damn hot for.
Yeah.
So we said if we can make Gary Brown drink our beer on the regular, then we've done something. And now, granted, he still carries his Bud Light with him everywhere he goes, but
you know.
He actually had some Smash.
That's exciting.
He drank it too.
Street cred. It's got a reputation in South Texas.
It'd be pretty great though if he brought his own Bud Light
I
to
know.
the brewery.
Well, you know, and
I'm sure there's one in the back of that pickup truck.
Oh, there absolutely is. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we wanted something everyone could drink, and not only just, you know, there's so many beers, so many breweries, so much selection that and I like to try all of them, but I wanted to produce that beer that you would go back for.
Yeah.
You know, drink 3 instead of half.
Right.
So
It's delicious.
Thank you.
Of course.
thank you.
And that is, that's the tough part. Like everybody, I think every brewer wants to brew something that everybody wants to drink. Obviously, if you're in the business of selling beer.
Right, because you want to keep going.
Yeah,
business,
I mean, but that's the grand irony of Texas is that brewing the lighter lagers is incredibly hard here.
Yeah.
Brewing a darker, ale is very easy here.
Yeah.
And so, it's not easy making that beer. It's a
difficult process, and that's why I find it so interesting when I naturally have to be part of all the beer groups or whatever on Facebook. And every time somebody, not by choice, every time somebody puts a lager up, people are like, "Oh, it's a lager," and I'm like, "It's fucking that's a difficult beer to make."
I was actually listening to your last one that you did with your BarbacoApparel team.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I go, "No, man, this is the future."
Yeah.
People are coming back. They're coming back around.
I hope so, and I think it's important. I think it's important to have beers like this because, and I know that you and I have talked about this before, but I am passionate about craft beer, and I'm passionate about the people that make it, and we can't keep making it and keep drinking it if we're not making beer for everybody.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this is delicious.
Thank you. And I gave my secret squirrel salute.
Oh, so we can get another one?
So
Bring them on.
We're bringing another one.
Keep going. Do you guys do Shotgun Friday here? I mean, or at your house? Not here at the brewery, obviously.
Well, yeah, no, not at the house.
I cannot confirm nor deny that may have happened at the Craft Brewers Conference.
Did it?
I cannot
or
confirm
maybe it
nor
didn't.
deny that.
Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. You guys look like Shotgun Friday people to me.
We don't can yet. We're not.
Well, I mean, that's true, I guess. You could punch a hole in the bottom of this glass. If you had real determination.
If we really meant it, we could make it happen.
He really means it with the samples, huh? That's a 3/4 pour.
Okay,
By the way, that's our number one intern.
Chief intern, head of all interns.
Oh.
Chief intern.
That's exciting. That's a cool intern gig.
Yeah.
And
At
stored
the
in
brewery?
my phone, he is the redheaded stranger, but his legal name is William Nelson.
William Nelson.
So we are the official
I'm sure he's a fine
volunteer
guy, but it kind of
brewery
sounds like a serial killer name.
of William Nelson.
Right?
Well, the first question I asked him, how many people call you Willie?
Yeah.
He goes, everybody.
Yeah.
I said, I will call you William.
Oh, that's nice. Sophisticated. So what is this one?
So, I'm pretty sure.
It's got to be the Hefe, right?
That's the
Hefe.
Hefe,
yeah. Yep. Hefeweizen. So, all cards out on the table. I'm not a big fan of wheat beers.
Okay.
And I know that Stu has echoed the same, but I do remember Shiner's Hefeweizen that they made in, God, what was that, 96, 97, maybe before that. The can had the two-headed man, one up, one down, and I remember that being drinkable and delicious. And it was, I think it was pre-buyout, but I thought if we can replicate something like that to where everyone can drink it, again, you don't have to be a wheat beer fan, you don't have to be a Hefeweizen fan, but this is something that, and so we tried our best. And we realized only after we had brewed the first 30 barrels that, oh shit, Live Oak is right down the street, and they've got 20 years of Hefeweizen, and we go, well,
We're gluttons for punishment. We've charged into the Central Texas market trying to sell Bach to bars with Shiner on tap and Hefeweizen to Live Oak people.
That's good though.
But
I think it's good.
I'm happy with it.
I actually am a big fan of Hefes, but I can taste the banana in it, like really nicely.
So in preparing to brew this beer, we did our research. We figured out where we needed to ferment it at temperature-wise to bring out more of the fruit, suppress a little bit of the clove, give it that bubblegum, light, easy, breezy feeling.
Yeah.
So. Tried a couple different yeast strains.
Yep.
What is that like? Like, what's the process of like, okay, we're going to do this style?
So this one was the first one. So almost everything we brew aside from this, I, had brewed as a home brewer. And,
okay.
had
so you were familiar with our...
Familiar, yeah. So I was a big Hefe fan in college and like just burnt myself out on it.
Yeah.
And like didn't touch it again until we started this. But we have a Sabco, little less than half 10-gallon system by the time it, finished product. But we'll brew it, obviously same malt, but we can split it between two carboys, so we can pitch 2 different kinds of yeast. Do that again with different malts. Do it again maybe with different hops. Do it again, but try and keep it to where we're only changing one variable at a time.
Right.
And then we taste it. We ultimately have the final say is what we want to do with it. But we kind of did a variant on triple blind tasting with a lot of our regulars and other people that we trust. So with the different carboys that when we put it in the corny kegs, just serve it up homebrew style, and we'd give people 3 glasses, 2 of which had the same beer, 1 had a different beer. If they could correctly identify which 2 were the same, their opinion counted. If not, their opinion got thrown out. We never tell them whether their opinion counted.
We would smile and nod and go, "You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
Had a little
right."
notebook, let them write all.
You're just kicking people the fuck out every day.
Skill you learned from being married.
No comment.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should say this or not. I mean, because they're our bread and butter. But truth be told, the home brewers were the worst at identifying.
They
were the worst. Joe Schmo off the street was way better at nailing down which 2 were the same, which was different.
Maybe because they drink so much like homebrew that I don't have any idea either.
But yeah, we really let the people speak on this one, and they kind of.
The people have spoken.
Yeah, they kind of picked this one out for us.
We're a brewery for the people.
That's right. All the people just come right now. That's awesome. Well, it's delicious.
Thank you. No, I'm
glad
you like it.
I don't think I've had one of your beers that I was been like, oh, this is shit. Like, they're all really, really good.
That makes me happy.
Good. Well, it should. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hard on them.
Yeah,
you
rough.
make them. That's why.
Oh, well, yeah, we're our own worst critics. But that's the thing is there's so many little breweries that keep popping up. Like, since we moved in, 20...
Yeah, I think we had the shortest honeymoon of all time because we got up and open in November, and then Rugged Man opened up down the street like 2 months later. So we were the new game in town for the shortest period.
We butted in on BS and Seguin Brewing right down there.
Yeah.
And then we kind of coincided with Aqua Brew.
Yeah, we kind of opened the same time with Aqua Brew.
So, and then Middleton's been around forever, but I don't think they care. Middleton's is so like, whatever, bro. You know?
Love those guys.
And yes, I love Calvin, even though he did make a Hefeweizen after I made a Hefeweizen.
It was delicious, Calvin.
Which is delicious.
It's very delicious.
But, all right, so this one has to be the smash.
So this one, I know Jason, my husband, just drank it, and he said it was really, really good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Another fan. So, description-wise, this is our smash. So here's what happened with this. We had Brian Bush was brewing down the street at Aqua Brew. Aqua Brew does not have a mill, so they have their grain pre-milled.
Okay.
They got a pallet of grain unmilled and said, "This is wrong. We need milled." So whoever their supplier was at the time said, "Okay, we'll send you your milled stuff." And they said, "Well, great. Do we need to send this back?" And we can't take it back. And so Brian called me and said, "Hey guys, I've got 825 pounds of
it was Rar Pilsner.
Pilsner that I can't do anything with."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, I mean, what are you asking? What do you how much you want?" And I'm probably, Brian doesn't work there anymore, so Carlo can, be upset if he wants. I think he was in on it.
Carlo knew. When I picked it up, Carlo was there and gave us.
I love how you guys assume people listen to this.
They want to make sure. To be careful, they should.
Yeah. Anyway, so we went and picked this grain up for free, and we said, "Okay,
We had a simultaneous problem we were trying to solve too, in that the double, which we haven't had yet, tops out at about 9.5%, and it craps the yeast out. So the yeast is not suitable for repitching. And I hadn't really anticipated that, and it had dawned on me how expensive that beer was going to be to make if we were going to have to keep buying pitches.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Like, how are we going to get around the fact that this is going to kill us, but we still want to keep making this beer. We get this pallet of grain, and after a couple days, the light bulb went off. It's like, we can make a smash.
Mm-hmm. So
inexpensively.
Right.
And then use that to prop up yeast for another smash and that double IPA if we do it right. And keep the ball rolling and keep it going. And so the first batch of smash, I really just looked at it as like an industrial byproduct. We didn't even like get label approval right away. We just kept it around. It was like, we make that to make double IPA, and there's a bunch of that left over.
So just to make sure, I don't know. Smash is single malt and single hop. This is American Pilsner malt, and we use Cascade hops.
Okay.
There's the recipe.
It was the cheapest on spot hops at the time.
So we put it in the tap room here. No label approval. I'm not selling it out in public or anything like that. And they tore it up.
Yeah. Total surprise.
We almost went through the full 15 barrels. I think I sold 3 kegs out of the brewery.
Yeah, we put, and this was back when label approval was taking like 40 to 50 days.
Yeah.
And by the time we realized, we better get label approval and put this in the market. By the time we finally got label approval, I think we had 3 or 4 kegs left.
Wow.
It was like, man. So we did it again.
Yeah, well, of course.
And we had just finished our first Texas Craft Brewers Guild Safety Summit. And sat through a class on dry hopping.
Yes.
And I remember listening very, very closely because I thought, this is all important stuff. This is what I need to know.
Yeah.
And one of the techniques was talking about different temperatures, different effects, and CO2 and not CO2. And so we actually got to play with this one. That was a fun thing. This was a toy. You know, I got to see what it would do at different temperatures. And we really liked, we dry hopped it at 50 degrees, and it brought out this real beautiful, like, floral.
Yeah, that's what I can taste all the floral notes in it. It's really good.
And then we dropped it.
Thanks, Oasis guys.
Yeah.
In case you're listening.
And then we crashed it down and dry hopped it again, and I think both times it was a half pound per barrel, something like that.
Yeah.
Dropped it down to 32, whatever, we crashed it and dry hopped it again, and that gave it more of the palatable bitterness. And so, and it sits at 45 IBUs. I know we talk about IBUs as if it's an important number, but it's
calculated, not tested.
Yeah, well,
for all the nerds out there.
Yeah, I think it's delicious. I love it.
No, it's another light.
What's the ABV on this one? Do you know?
About 5.5.
5.5. Oh, that's good. That's a good drinking beer.
That's a guesstimation.
Yeah, it's 10.
Also calculated.
No.
It's 15 probably, but.
Yeah.
No, it's really good.
It's funny. We this is my idea of like a smash, as a light, easy beer.
Right.
And it wasn't 2 months later that one of our friends said, I just made this smash and I'm going to bring some over. And we said, okay, great. And we tried it. And I got about a pint in, and I was squinting with one eye and standing on one foot. And I go, what is the ABV?
It's heavy, yeah.
It checks in at about 10.5, 11. And I go,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
You're putting lives in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, awesome. But it was fun. So we've been talking about ourselves. How about you? How are you, Catherine?
That's what this is about. This is about talking about you guys, not me. I'm good.
That's cool. I love talking about myself.
Yeah, you should do more of that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, thank you very much.
He heard you.
Nice
see?
of you. Thank you.
He knows you like the heifer.
Thanks.
Yeah. He doesn't know
He doesn't know anything about me. That's why he brought that over to me. I'm doing good. I've had so many tapings this week. This is my last one.
Yeah.
And it's so laid back. Because I've had I'm way old now, I think is what the issue is.
No.
No, I am.
Way old.
I had a taping at the Bang Bang Bar in San Antonio a couple nights ago with Girl in a Coma, which was awesome. It was like one of my bucket list things. And there were like 100 people there for the taping. Pretty awesome,
Very
right?
cool.
But it's a band, like they're rockers, so they didn't want to start till like 10. And I was like, oh, that sucks ass. So like I'm usually asleep by 9. Like that's not my kind of party. Yeah. But we did it, and then the next day I felt hungover, even though I didn't drink that much. I was just like, I don't know if I can make it through this day. But
we had a metal show out here.
Oh, nice.
It was
Yeah,
It was
awesome.
It was our second best night
Yeah.
in the brewery. Like we had our grand opening, which was amazing. We got amazing
Monetarily
support.
speaking, it was awesome.
Right.
We want to do it again.
But
Was it good?
Warhead Rex,
Did
if
you
you're
get
out
out? Did you get a good crowd out for it?
we
Okay.
had-
it's
Yeah.
such
It's insane.
It was awesome.
That's awesome.
And I'm a bit of a metalhead myself. I know, it's not for everybody, but we had a great crowd. I thought, man,
I
that's
don't
awesome.
hate
But in
metal.
setting it up, we were talking to Gilly Salazar with Warhead Rex, and he said, yeah, man, if we can go on at like 11, and I go,
Yeah.
dude, this is unincorporated county. We shut down at midnight. Like,
Yeah.
There's no room for that.
Yeah.
And plus that, I don't know. And that was the other cool part. We were like, yeah, we got to like call the neighbors and let them
Yeah.
know. And
There's
put
a
it
house
on
right there.
social
Yeah.
media. Yeah, there's a house right back there. Half the neighbors were here.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
And I
nice.
was like,
That's awesome.
dude, David with his cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, wow. All right, dude. Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty
Partying.
neat.
Yeah, it was
Metal style.
It was surprising to me because I just knew them as ranchers and
Yeah.
kind of,
They were
I don't
into
want to
it.
say cowboys, but yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
you know. Yeah.
And they all showed up with
No,
like
Omar's a dentist.
Omar's a dentist. But yeah, they all rolled in with like vintage late
Every
70s.
town needs a dentist.
Every town needs a dentist. He's got
Every
that drip
cowboy
tooth on
needs a
top of his
dentist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they all rolled in cowboy hats, tight jeans, but then like vintage metal shirts from the late
Nice.
70s, early 80s. It was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Well, I grew up in Katy, which is like outside of Houston, in the 80s, which was the worst possible time to be there.
God.
And there were a lot of cowboys, but there were also like metalheads. That was
Yeah,
it. It was
really.
either you were into George Strait or death metal. There was like no in between.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Again, I mean, if those are your two options.
Yeah, exactly.
1 foot in the icebox, 1 foot in the oven.
That's right. Yeah. And everybody with a mullet, so
Yeah.
it works out perfectly.
He had to have a mullet.
Yeah, of course.
I'm from outside of Pittsburgh. Don't hate on the mullet.
I mean, everybody's got their
I had
hairstyle
one. I
of
won't
choice.
lie.
Well,
It happened.
Did you have one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. I need a picture.
Till my private school made me cut the
The
party,
party?
off. Yeah, they
Wow,
cut the party
that
off.
happens.
And I was just left with business all over the place.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
That was the worst.
All right, so what's this next beer?
Let's see.
Looking
It's the
Bach-ish?
Bach, right?
No, that's the Bach.
That's
Ooh.
our Bach.
It smells already. I can smell the like dark kind of like monkness.
This is our dark
That's good
deliciousness.
stuff.
That is amazing.
So everybody knows in Texas that Shiner is king. We wanted to. I don't want to say challenge that.
It's not a challenge.
It's not a challenge.
Watch your Bach, Shiner. There, I
Watch your
said it.
Bach. Shout out to my wife for coming up with that.
There's some guy at Shiner's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Coming after Altmeyer
It's probably
and
the guy on the
Lewis.
commercial. What's his name? Anyway, yeah, so we were playing around with recipes and
Yeah, this was like our first like real collab. Like we both brought stuff to
Yeah.
the table,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we didn't really have. So we're like, let's start with something we aren't doing ourselves. And we started working on this one, and then it kind of took off. And
yeah.
this was one where like we kept drinking it out before it could go places. So it was like, truth be told, when we brewed the first one here, it was like this isn't going to be commercially viable because of Shiner. But I just want it for the grand opening.
Yeah.
And I want to drink it myself.
Yeah.
And I want to brew it on the big system, so I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we just threw that Hail Mary. We didn't even reuse the yeast, I think, in the first time. We just it was a one-off.
Yeah.
And then it sold out, and we realized we got to
Very
keep brewing
quickly
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When we had people ask
made me
us,
happy. I
we had
love this
people
beer.
ask us,
Yeah.
well, I mean, how are you going to sell that against Shiner?
Yeah.
And I go,
everybody.
yeah, I mean that's valid.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Well,
Because I feel like if I have a choice, and I love Shiner, right? I'll drink
Yeah.
Shiner,
A&L
but it's
Bach
not the
every
one that I'm
time.
gonna go after.
no.
Like if I would probably choose y'all over getting a Shiner.
I mean, I'll put it this way. If I'm going to drink 6 to 8 beers on a boat,
oh God.
I should probably stick with the Shiner and not drink this one.
Well, that's true. Okay, so on that note, actually, I always do this, as I just think it's fun. If you guys, let's say there's no craft beer around, right?
Yes.
What are you gonna drink?
If there's
Okay.
oh,
I'm a
Ranger
bit of...
Creek whiskey.
Oh,
That
you're
stuff is
you're like
delicious.
a liquor dude.
That's
Okay.
delicious. That stuff is delicious.
But I mean like beer. Like what trash beer are you gonna go for?
So, are we talking? Can we have imports, or are we talking?
Give me
American trash?
whatever big beer what it just as long as it's
So like if I got cash, I'm gonna buy some Spot and their Polliner, like a German import. 'Cause
Okay.
That's what I dig on.
Okay.
If I got less cash, I'll go to a Heineken and I'll take that Heineken and I'll
Okay.
put it out in the sun so it gets a little
a
skunk
little
on it.
warm. Okay.
No,
I like that.
I want to cool it down
You like it
afterwards.
skunky?
I like that little skunky flavor to
Okay.
it. But then after that, Miller High Life.
Are you a pot smoker?
Plead the fifth. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just
Occasionally.
leaving shit out in the sun to get
When I'm outside the confines of the state of Texas.
Yeah. No, of course. Of course.
You really just committed yourself 100%.
I don't know why.
Because nobody else is going to hire you.
We've been talking about pot a lot lately on this podcast. I don't know why. But the other night we were talking about it too, and I was telling people that I can't smoke pot anymore. Because I lived in Austin. And that's like all you did in the 90s. I didn't even drink. I just was like smoking pot all the time.
I know to never ask a lady her age, but I'm 41, and as I
I'm
got older,
just-
I turned into a lightweight. So
Yes,
like,
that's what it
it's-
is. It feels like
Like it still happens, but it's not
too
like
much
it
for
used to
me.
be.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
fun anymore. I'm
Yeah.
just like, this
There's a
feels
real fine
horrible.
line between having
I know.
fun and it just like.
Yes, and then
Am I having a heart attack? Do
yes,
you need to take me to
exactly.
the
Am I
ER?
dying right now? Why did you say something to me and then I responded 45
Was
minutes
that
later?
thing that I said Thursday really
Yeah.
that big of a dick
It's
thing to
just
say
the
to my
worst.
friends?
Why is everything in a frame? Why can't it
Did my
like?
mother-in-law know
Yeah,
that I was stoned?
just the worst.
You got to have one of those.
I don't know. I can't do it anymore. It's not working for me.
Well, that's sad.
Is it? Yeah, it is sad.
That's a bummer.
But, at
That
least
is
I've
true.
gotten to the point, because when I was young, I wouldn't have given a shit if it was working for me or not. But now, obviously, I'm older and have kids. And I'm like, no thanks,
There's
guys.
something about the adrenaline of youth.
Yeah, you
that
don't care.
Just makes everything like not so freaky.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm like, I probably could die.
Yeah.
If this.
I worked a job for a number of years where I wasn't supposed to smoke, and I blame it for my.
Hey, can I
for your
introduce Blake?
break. Yeah, of course. You can
Blake,
edit it.
Blake is a member of the homebrew crew here. Homebrew crew. Wow, I've had.
Oh, nice.
Okay. But they're the Warthogs.
You can just leave that shit on the floor.
And a
It's
local
fine.
brewer.
It's
He's
fine.
brought us some beer. I would hire him if he didn't have a better
Oh.
job.
Yeah,
Hi,
unfortunately,
Blake.
I like working in composite craft type of stuff. So jet engine families.
Oh, nice.
Built, I should say.
Yeah, you wanna get him the.
Can I come down?
So you're hello there.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You're a home brewer?
Yeah.
You live here in San Marcos, or?
Well, I used to live here. I just moved up to Kyle.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I haven't been able
A little
to
closer
visit
to
these
Austin.
guys
Yeah.
lately.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, I apologize.
That's all right.
But like right up next to
You have to get you. I don't
Pretty
want
close to it?
I don't want to tell you to like deep throat it or anything, but just get close enough to it.
Close
so
to
that-
it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Because it's audio and people want to hear. It's
Okay,
weird.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Perfect.
But yeah, I've been kind of in this area for a while, and back in 2011, I think it was, Middleton Brewing started up.
Yeah.
Out in Wimberley, and I got to know the owners there, Dennis and Kim, and they helped us organize a homebrew club, the Hill Country Warthogs.
Nice.
Back then, I was just doing partial mashes, some extract brews and stuff like that. But Dennis they had a little homebrew shop there. But Dennis invited me to come back into his brew house and taught me all grain.
Oh, nice.
And so I started brewing all grain with him, and he's a damn good brewer. Had a lot of just interest in Belgian beers, which I hated Belgian beers at the time. But once he started to really teach me the intricate details of Belgian beer, I really started to fall in love with it.
Nice.
And so that's one style I love brewing, but I'm all over the place. I'll brew anything that I can brew.
Yeah.
So
that. That's awesome.
But right now it's like I just sit at home and I brew. I've got working on house recipes right now. Maybe one day I'll be in competition with these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Oh shit.
Unfortunately,
right now.
my job pays too well right now,
Oh,
so I
wow.
like it.
That's a bullshit excuse. No, I'm kidding.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
But yeah.
No,
So-
opening a brewery is hard. Is a lot of.
It's a lot of work, and I give
investment
kudos to these guys here for
Yeah.
being able to do it, and especially in this
and
area.
Blake,
so.
what do you think about Altmeyer and Lewis Brewing Company?
Love it. I love it, man.
Your favorite.
German.
right?
My
Such a
favorite beer.
kisser. He's looking for a free tab.
Well, hell yeah, I'll take it.
Who is it?
No, the Pilsner's always been one of the type of beers that I've always wanted to brew. This is the epitome of a German Pilsner to me. This is what I really want to brew someday.
Nice.
And so being able to come here and see these guys do it is a great way for me to try to learn and brew it.
Oh, that's so nice. That's
Now where's my free tab?
Yeah.
Well, keep up that homebrew.
I will do
Don't
that. I
stop.
will do that. So
Awesome.
I'll keep coming here and I'll keep learning with these guys,
Yeah.
and maybe one day I'll have a free day and I come brew with them.
Awesome. Yeah.
So-
Let's do that.
Oh shit!
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Apologize for the.
You can cuss as
Say what?
much as you want to. It's fine.
This is the
Oh,
double.
Tuesday.
I don't even.
I get
pour-
off at work. I
don't
get off
even
at
pour
4.
the double this full when I'm serving it for money.
That's a pretty nice
Okay.
day. You get off at
I might
4.
have to do that. Well, I go in at 7, so. But, well, I might come up. All right.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
There you go.
Awesome.
Well, excellent. Glad you
Thanks
could
for
talk with you guys.
being on the podcast.
Most definitely. Glad I could do it. So,
Yeah.
keep it up the good work.
Thanks.
Oh. And I think I'm gonna have to have a talk with our bartender. If he's serving up the double IPA in samples like
Yeah, this is irresponsible.
There's a lot of beer here.
this, there's a lot of beer.
It's about to get cray-cray on this podcast.
Yeah, this beer.
That's nice. That's good. You guys keep drinking.
It tastes like I'm not going to work tomorrow.
That's better for podcasting.
We do have Uber. Uber does come out to
Yes.
Altmeyer and Lewis Brewing Company.
That's right.
So
Perfect.
that'll get me back to a hotel because they don't go back to Wimberley.
Okay, so what is this one?
So this is our double IPA.
Okay.
AL double IPA.
Uh-huh.
A malty mouthful of hops that
Oh.
checks in at 9.5%, 95 IBU.
Oh shit.
It's so don't say anything bad because this one's kind of my baby.
Oh, is it?
And not taking anything away from Stu because he
Oh.
helped me push it along.
Yeah.
Today could be your baby. No, I'm
But,
just kidding.
But this actually is reminiscent of and based off of the first all grain beer that I brewed.
Okay.
And then, like I said, when Stu and I started doing,
Yeah, I think I got you that homebrew. It's so to get off on a tangent a little
No.
bit. I'll come right back. But for Christmas, my wife likes to set out a budget per
Right.
person. We try and be equitable and fair and all that.
Yeah.
And then I don't see things that way. I go
You
through
give
the
you
year.
give more to people that you like better.
No.
Oh.
No,
That's what I do.
I do
That's what I do, yeah.
I do the Oprah method. Like if I find a product or something,
Oh,
I
you're like,
like,
you get a brew kit. You get a
yeah,
brew
that,
kit.
like,
yeah.
yeah. And so like that year,
I like it.
Byron was interested in brewing and had been up to the house and all that, and I was like, Byron gets a brew kit, and my wife's like, that brew kit is like 10 times more than we're spending on everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I just ordered it. It
Yep.
just
Yeah.
happened.
that happened. No,
Awesome.
I had been talking to Stu and I knew that he was making beer at home, but I think I spent probably 6 or 8 months reading The Joy of Home Bruising.
The double.
Home brewing.
There's the
That-
double,
that's it.
baby.
That's like is that a Fight
that's where
Club
you
kind of
sit
like?
home with one of
That's
those
home
little
business
mini.
owners. Small business owners.
It's one of those mini
That was
baseball
50 Shades
bats
of
and you
Grey.
just-
That was that's something
The
different.
Joy of Home Brewing, Charlie Papazian. That's the beginning homebrewers Bible. Anyway, I'd been talking to Stu about it, and I hadn't been so. My background is former military and still currently. And I wonder if I should announce.
No,
on
no,
the-
don't.
no,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I
As
worked-
your fake counselor, I would say just go
counselor. I
keep
like
talking.
that. Yeah. Anyway, I also work for the Houston Fire Department, so I'm a
Okay,
firefighter.
yeah.
I didn't have any money to buy a homebrew kit.
Yeah.
I think I might have still been in the training academy when you bought. Anyway, had no money. He sent me a homebrew kit. I was at home while my wife was at his place in West Virginia,
Okay.
and I'm sitting around one day on my day off in my underwear, and the doorbell rings, and it's the UPS man. And there
You
it
opened the
was.
door in your underwear?
I got the good one too with the glass car boys.
Whoa! High
Plastic for
roller.
this guy.
You know, I'd learned the hard way. Plastic buckets are crappy, man. You can't ruin crap.
Yeah, I like
so
it.
I was gonna start them down that path.
Yeah.
That was bullshit. There, I said it. Shit.
Very nice. No, you can say
Shit,
that as
shit,
many
shit,
times as
shit.
you want to. Yeah, it's fine. I say much worse all the time.
Take that, FCC.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so you got that then, and then it was the big family. Our wives' family have a big reunion at Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's right.
And so by Memorial Day, you had beer and corny cakes. So it kind of took off a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think I
Yeah.
did. So that first,
And back to it the first prototype of this was in one of the corny kegs, and it was delicious.
Thank you. Aw, now I'm gonna cry.
You guys.
Aw. Thrown off. So here's I think I might have some obsessive compulsive disorder going on. Not quite sure.
All right. That's fun at a party.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
No.
So I got the homebrew kit, and it came with an Irish stout.
Okay.
All malt extract.
They come by default with the amber, but and this is back before they sold out, but I called the Midwest Supplies guys. I was like, man, that amber is BS. And they're like,
give me something better.
We got a stout. I was like, it's wintertime. Give me the stout.
Let's do a stout.
Let's do the stout.
Nice.
So I brewed that.
Did you do it correctly the first time?
Oh, never.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Smell like old shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I was supposed to sanitize this first.
Jason and I, we've done homebrewing one time, right? Because, like, I have, of course, because I do, like, I'm in beer, I have, like, these grand ideas of having, like, this whole fucking, like, just a room dedicated to us homebrewing.
Pleasure room.
Yeah, like, the real sexy with grate and shit everywhere. But we did one homebrew like 2 Christmases ago, and we were so stupid about the way that we did it that we were just like, it was like a brown ale. It was like a hazelnut brown ale or something.
That sounds good.
And he, probably if we did it properly, he was like, oh, we're supposed to put sugar in. And I'm like, how much sugar? And he's like, I don't know. And we're just like dumping shit in there. And we were like, that works. Yeah. You want to put some fruit roll-ups in there and shit. Like, whatever. Just put it in there. But it didn't, it tasted like beer. So we thought that was a success.
Well, that is a success.
Right.
That is a success. There's no reason to be a beer snob on your own beer.
Yeah. No, yeah. We were like,
if you'll drink it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
I taste notes of maybe meth. I don't know what's in here, but it's perfect. Yeah.
This sounds like, as the musician here at the table,
Yeah.
this all sounds like talking about songwriting.
Yeah, right? You just throw shit out there and then...
This song sounds like maybe a little hint of meth.
Perfect, right? That's my whole life.
That's a great title for a song. A
Yeah,
little hint of
a
meth.
little hint, just a sprinkle.
I'm in.
Yeah, one of the
Sprinkler.
worst home brews that ended up turning out all right, I did in law school with a buddy of mine who's now the elected prosecutor for a small county outside of Chicago.
Oh.
But we got blacked out drunk before the brew was done, and it had sugar additions at the end and honey additions at the end of the boil.
Heard about this one.
Pat Canale, I'm ratting you out, buddy. Here it comes. In case you listen to Texas Beer Podcast from Chicago. But yeah, we got blacked out drunk at his apartment, and neither one of us remembered finishing it off. But when we woke up, it was in a plastic bucket going.
Perfect.
It was there, and it was going, so we let it ride, and that thing just kept going for weeks and weeks and weeks, and just would never stop. And then finally stopped. We crashed it a little bit. We let it warm back up. We added some priming sugar, and we bottled it without tasting it, because we were like, yeah, this is a weird one. We'll just see. It'll need to age. And we let that roll for about 6 months in the bottle. We'd open up one every now and then, and it was just like, oh my God, what was that? And something happened at like a year where it was no longer a good beer, but it made excellent steak marinade.
Nice. That's perfect.
It was dark,
Yeah.
roasty.
Perfect.
How it got a little salty, I
Who
don't
knows?
know. I'm
knows?
not sure what happened
Yeah.
there.
Salty, nice.
Was that your daughter?
That was my daughter.
Sweet.
And I said, of course, sweetie, you can come sit over here. And I go, wait a minute,
No, you know what? Can I tell you? I have 4 kids. And my kids go to a very conservative private school, and they know I do a beer podcast, which is stupid. And sometimes they go to school, and my daughter's 7, and she's like, my mom loves beer. She's always drinking beer. And I'm like, oh, I'm not always drinking beer. It's the best.
Been at the grocery store, and my son will, in a crowded place, look up and say, Dad, did you remember to transfer the Hefeweizen over? And I go, son, you're 5. You don't need to know those words.
Yeah, that's
Stop
too much. Yeah.
The nice part about actually owning the brewery, like now that's a thing with my daughter's school, which is not very conservative.
It makes you more cool. It makes you the
it's
cooler dad.
like if I could probably roll in the morning drunk, and they'd be like, oh, he's just it's probably part of his business.
Yeah. But the thing about kids that's really funny is that So my podcast has 18,000 listeners. I don't know if you guys know that,
Big
but
deal.
it's true.
Oh, yeah.
But my kids don't give a shit. So like my daughter's sitting over there. She's almost 16, and she had an internship at a magazine this summer, which is part of like the perks of having something like a podcast where you can get your kid an internship. And her boss was like, "Hey, what's it like to have a mom that's like a celebrity in the beer world?" And she was like, "She's not that great." I was like, Thanks a lot. That's awesome. She's like, I don't drink beer, so I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Well, luckily, maybe, I guess, I haven't felt the whole rock stardom, like, oh, you're the Lewis, I haven't, there's none of that going on.
It's coming.
I'm so bad at marketing, and I'm so bad at social media that nobody even knows who we are. They asked for that Al beer.
We're huge in Europe.
Yeah.
You guys got that Russian all that Russian traffic.
Yeah, I was just talking to Putin the other day.
He loves.
I was just drinking with Donald.
All politics aside, partying with that dude for like 36 hours would be a fucking blast.
Right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
If you live through 48,
If
then
you
it's
make
a bonus.
it,
bonus, but
Yeah, for sure.
So I promised you 5 samples. However, that's... Oh, no, that is 5.
Yeah.
See?
Did we do it?
There I go for
Perfect.
being a math major.
I don't know. Did we get it? Did we get 5?
We got
We did.
5.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Math sort of falls by the wayside.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're saying anymore.
we have
but it
two
sounds
very,
like
there's two very high ABV little jokers in that
Yeah.
5 that hand of 5 cards.
Well,
right
all
there.
5, my entire right hand, delicious.
Thank you.
All 5.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're paying you to say that.
Let's move on to Shane for a minute.
Yeah.
Shane.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, before
is indeed
you start playing, tell us a little bit about like what kind of music you do and how you got started and all that jazz.
I was in a band in college, and for 10 years after that.
What was the
it called
name?
The Gougers.
Okay.
We were in the Americana world.
Okay.
And I mean, we played 39, 40 states. And
Oh, wow.
Willie.
Okay. Nice.
And toured with Rodney Crowell. And
Exciting.
it was great.
Did you have a lot of fun, or was it like a hard
please.
life? Yeah.
Please. It was
Yeah.
a hard life. I didn't know it.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. But yeah. And well, then my band broke up, and I didn't realize
Okay.
that was coming.
Bitches.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was surprised.
Was it a chick?
Was it over a girl?
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't over a girl, no, but my partner was just...
She was a girl?
She was a girl, but that
okay.
had nothing to do
Always.
with it.
Not that there's
It-
anything
It's
wrong with that.
Always.
It's
No, I'm
always
kidding.
egos.
There's always one girl that's like, I can't do this anymore.
Can't blame it on the fact that she was a woman.
We're trying
We
to
only
bury
can blame
Shane.
it on the fact that we had egos.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, okay. So I went to Guatemala for 4 months.
Okay.
to
I didn't
consider
expect that
my
turn,
next
but okay.
move.
Naturally.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I was there, I learned Spanish, and so when
Oh.
I came back, I became a Spanish teacher.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Are you a teacher now?
currently.
Oh, wow. Okay.
His contract is up.
Awesome.
I have one more paycheck coming.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 6 years. 6 years of teaching Spanish.
Okay. What grade level?
So the last 2 years I've been doing junior high.
Oh, fuck.
But before that,
God bless
so
you.
that's how I'm doing it.
That is the worst. Yeah.
I had a moment. and
Just the
decided-
shittiest. Yeah. Fuck those kids. That's the worst age ever.
Yeah, high
Yeah.
school for 5 years or 4 years before that, great. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did teach high school?
What's that?
You did teach high school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I taught high school for 4 years.
Okay.
And then
I
junior
didn't know
high for
that.
2. And then,
Yeah. And
I'm
now
gonna do
you're
something
back
new.
with the guitar.
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah. So what are you gonna play for us?
I'm going to play you a song called Iron Bells.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Scream
all your bad mistakes. 'Cause riders don't get heartbroken, they get headaches. Every little tiny sin on the head of a ballpoint pen. You're flying off the handle and you're flying off of the page. Every night you're going down swinging just to wake up to the ringing of the iron bells. When a hammer is all that you're holding, the only thing you see is nails. They could make you bow your head but never make you pray. Like the transcendental magnetism of a cathode ray. Always quoting from the novel when you only ever really saw the film. You're flying off the handle and you're flying off of the page. Every night you're going down swinging just to wake up to the ringing of the iron bells. When a hammer is all that you're holding, the only thing you see is nails. Oh, hollow eyed, all you are is hollow eyed. Oh, hollow eyed, all you are is hollow eyed.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was amazing. Okay, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Big time. Nice.
Welcome to another week of the She's Crafty podcast, beer news with Beer with Blake. Well, our exciting news this week is that we had a hurricane slam into the Gulf Coast, home of countless breweries, several down in Houston, several down in Corpus, and then some raining and flooding in Austin, but nothing too terrible right there. But this is beer news. This is not the weather news. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm a professional drinker. So, what are we going to talk about this week? Let's talk about some of the amazing ways that different breweries and bars around the state of Texas are banding together to help out the hurricane victims. I'm going to use this week's segment to highlight some of the cool things that I've seen so far going on across the state. First and foremost, huge shout out to Oscar Blues. Many years ago, they established what's called the Canned Aid Foundation, CAN''D. And what they do is they can drinking water from their breweries and they send it to folks in need. Usually hurricane victims. I want to say they sent a lot of water up to Flint, Michigan last year when we had that going on. Great charitable cause. If you need a link, go over to facebook.com/beerwithblake and there's a link to donate over there. Pretty awesome cause. If you're looking to send a pallet of water, a pallet of bottled water from Sam's or Costco is in the neighborhood of about $500. Oscar Blues can send an entire pallet of canned drinking water directly from their breweries to the hurricane victims for as little as $2.48. So you can definitely make your money go a long ways and help out a great cause. And these folks do it nationwide. In fact, they're projected to send more canned water than Miller Coors and just slightly less than Anheuser-Busch, who's been known for their hurricane efforts and their canned drinking water for years and years. I know when I personally was a victim of the Hurricane Ike in 2008, the Anheuser canned drinking water cans came in very handy. As much crap as we may talk about big beer, they sure do step up in a big way. Another cool couple things that I've seen locally, be sure to keep up with your local bars and breweries as they are doing all sorts of donation drives. Guadalupe Brewing, New Braunfels, has several different boxes, and they're pulling together donations. Freetail Brewing was actually going to do a beer release next week for Labor Day. They moved the release up to this week. They're going to be taking donations and trying to send some pallets of water on the Silver Eagle distribution trucks to Houston to help out. So just be apprised of what your local community is doing and different ways that you can help out. Eighth Wonder Brewing down in Houston, right in the heart of the afflicted area. They actually have a military 6x6 truck. They've been using it for high water rescues, getting people out of their flooded homes and onto safe and high dry ground. So major props to Eighth Wonder Brewery. King's Beer House did something really amazing. They have a plan in place to help all their displaced employees. Their employees that have lost their belongings, their homes. In addition to that, they were able to open up last night, but they weren't charging. They wanted their community, if you could get there safely, to go and have a beer. It was all volunteer-based, and they limited you to one beer in 2 hours, or their doors were only open for 2 hours. But as a show of solidarity for the community, to help people come together, they opened the taps for 2 hours last night, free of charge. They didn't take a single penny. Any donations made went to charitable causes to help folks rebuild. Sports stars are sending a lot of money, gathering different things. So just be apprised of some of the different ways that you can help out the Hurricane Harvey victims. I know our Corpus breweries, Lorelei, Rebel Toad, and Lazy Beach are coming together. They're going to be doing a collaboration beer that should be coming out before too long. And I believe there may be one in the works for San Antonio breweries as well to help our friends to the south. A lot of attention's getting focused on Houston right now, but we can't forget that Rockport, Fulton, Port Aransas Pass, Corpus, and a lot of low-lying areas in between were also severely damaged. In some cases, more damaged than what we saw in Houston, just not the flooding. So, anyways, check out what you can do locally. Go to beerwithblake.com and or facebook.com/beerwithblake. Find that Canned Aid Foundation link. Be sure to do what you can. Help out our brothers and sisters in need. I'll have hopefully some happier news for you next week. Until then, talk to y'all later. Prost.
Are you looking for a safe way to explore craft beer in our area? Well, look no further. Craft Cruiser is here to save the summer and cart you and your friends all over San Antonio and the Hill Country. From local craft beer bars to the best breweries around, Craft Cruiser is the premier brewery tour in town. It's a family-owned business with a passion for great craft beer. Buy single tickets or check out their group packages for bachelor and bachelorette parties, company outings, and much, much more. Don't drink and drive, just drink and cruise with Craft Cruiser. For more information, go to their website, sacraftcruiser.com. Those of you that listen to this show know that I am madly in love with the Alamo City. So it is no surprise that some of my favorite beers come from Freetail Brewing, the unofficial beer of San Antonio. They make damn good food and damn good beer. So hang with the local and check out Freetail Brewing. For more information, go to their website, freetailbrewing.com.
Okay, so we're back. We're going to play a game with the audience, right? And I should have 3 songs here. Ooh, they're coming up. They're coming up.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to stand up now. Okay. So the game today we're calling Beerioke, and I asked you guys to come up with 3 songs, right? 3 country songs that are about beer, and the winner is going to win a seat on a special Craft Cruiser tour that I'm going to host. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Vaughn.
Where are you from?
From Ohio originally, but San Marcos now.
Okay, nice. Very nice.
Left lane slow drivers.
How long have you? I'm going to give you this mic so that we can have an actual conversation.
Sure.
How long have you been living in San Marcos?
51 weeks now. I moved here on August 16th.
What?
Yeah.
How
So
are you
just-
enjoying this Texas summer?
Is this mic even on?
No,
I
it's
hate
definitely
it.
on.
I hate it.
I can hear you.
It's the worst summer I've ever experienced.
It's the
And I
worst.
lived in D.C.
Are
for
you
15 years
melting?
before coming
You're
here, and that was
melting.
pretty bad too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst part of it is that there's no end in sight. October, November will still be super hot.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it doesn't get. And then we get like a small little window,
Yeah.
and then it goes right back to being.
But the craft beer scene here is enough
Killer.
to make up.
Killer.
Is enough
Killer.
to make up
Killer.
for the
That's
terrible
right.
summer heat.
Okay, so what's the name of your song?
Well,
Does it
so
have a name?
when I was invited to do this, I was told it's supposed to be country songs.
Mhm.
So I picked probably the quintessential country song.
Okay.
Garth. I was going to say Garth Brewis.
Garth
Brooks. But not
Garth
Garth. Garth Brooks.
Perfect.
My wife left me. I got a
And
dead
so
dog.
Whenever you're
I
ready.
did a little riff on his
Perfect.
most famous song. So I'm going
God
to sing
bless
it
Mama.
terribly.
Oh, wait, you guys are judging, by the way. So pay attention.
It's going to go something like this. The hops in the grain, they ease all my pain, but my favorite thing to do is gather my friends in my Mercedes-Benz and head to Altmeyer, Lewis, 'cause I got friends in San Marcos, etc., etc.
Do we have to go on?
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
I would drop the mic if I didn't
That
know
was-
what was going to happen to this
Yeah,
expensive
you can't.
equipment right
It's
now.
not-
But
don't- please don't do that.
Where's Shane? There's something
That's
there, man.
amazing. Amazing.
It really is.
Okay. 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 What's your name?
Damn, that was good.
No, not you. Okay.
Brittany,
Hi, I'm
Brittany,
Colleen.
come on over.
Colleen, and where are you from, Colleen?
I also have
Don't
Jen
sit on his
and
lap.
Brittany
Don't-
here.
Okay.
We have a country song from California that's done by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, that's perfect for She's Crafty.
How we do country in
That's
California.
how She's Crafty got its name.
All right.
That's a Beastie Boys song.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And she's
Country, yes.
type.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Are we ready?
Yes.
She's crafty. They're new in town. She's crafty. She brought us down. She's crafty. Knows the thing to do is crafty. Drink Altmeyer Lewis.
That was so good. I love it.
Hard. It's
Oh, okay. One more. Who's next?
By that I mean like the choice. The
Come
choice
on.
is getting hard. The choice is getting hard.
We could do some spoken word. Some
Oh,
spoken word. A
Good
poem.
friend Tony is letting us down. Come on.
Come on.
There we go.
It's a poem. There we go.
Oh, it's a poem.
do a pussy.
It's a poem.
Tony.
Come on, Tony.
This is a real Texan.
All right.
A real
There we
Texan
go.
boy.
This is the real thing.
Come on, Tony.
Just feel it in your bones.
Yeah, you got it. It's okay. You got it?
This is Tony
Okay,
from
what's your
Wimberley,
name?
Texas.
Yeah, it's a podcast. Nobody listens to it. What's your name?
All right. So, real name, Anthony Phillips.
Okay. Oh, first and last. Like it. Where are you from?
Snap, was that wrong?
No, it's perfect.
I'm like, go shoot.
What's your
Wrong answer.
address? What's your
I
social
don't have
security
any,
number? No?
No, don't give your address.
No.
or phone number. Don't listen.
Okay. Where are you from? Where are you from?
I am from Wimberley.
From Wimberley. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Let's hear your.
yeah,
Let's hear your
absolutely.
song. Are you guys paying attention?
Yes, listen.
Okay.
All right. So, no song, poetry.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So, why should you drink from the spill from the sink when San Marcos loses its soul? On 123, on the way to Seguin, I taste dreams in the hops and the food. Locals not lost, friends not the frost. San Marcos would learn, San Marcos will turn. That my beer is not simply a drink. It will bring me to close to the brink.
He's got more.
Page 2.
Page 2. And my friends, my beer, by the heart, and never shall this tap ever part. Altmeyer Lewis is here for the soul.
All right. Okay. So you guys, you want to take a minute to discuss it?
Shall we revisit the
What is the prize structure? Not that it should matter.
The what? Okay. So the winner gets 2 seats on San Antonio Craft Cruiser for a brewery tour that I'm hosting.
Oh, can we get a fourth entry?
Come on. Yeah. You want to do it?
We've got one more.
Do we have one more? Actually, while we're
That
sitting here
motherfucker
on Dead
wasted 8
Air,
hours of my
where
life.
can our beer friends find you guys on the internet?
Facebook, Altlew Brew, ALTLEWBREWCO.
Okay.
And that applies also to Instagram. And this is what happens when I
Altlew
sample
Brew.
my own beer.
We're at Altlew Brew on Twitter.
That's right. Yes, yes.
Okay, Okay, so this is contestant number 4. Give me your name.
Roberto.
Roberto, where are you guys from?
San Marcos.
Odie from San Marcos.
Odie, oh, that's cute.
They're some of our OGs.
Nice. Okay. So let's hear your song.
You get extra points because it only took us like a minute.
They're the judges.
All right.
Okay,
ready?
you ready?
Pretty good from here. Here's a little story I got to tell about 2 young fellas you know so well. It started way back in history with Altmeyer, Lewis, and San Marcos.
Yes.
There's a little dropping some rhymes. I like it.
Hopefully
Okay.
they're not forgotten.
So, all right. If you guys want to take a minute and discuss it, do you remember them?
You know, I want to award all participants first place and get them a seat on that craft cruiser.
Well,
I think that's the
that
right way to do it,
would
right?
be
We just like
awesome.
to have
Except
the
I have
most
more
awesome craft crew
podcasts
ever.
to do, so I like that a lot.
Dan, if you can make that happen.
Dan.
Can,
You us
if you
one.
could just pick one of your
fine,
favorites,
fine,
that would be
fine.
awesome. Take,
Well,
take a one.
Tony drew tears to my eye.
Oh.
And I'll never forget him. He brought us our first gift. Well, he brought us a gift on our grand opening.
Okay.
And it hangs.
But now we're playing this game where we're not judging on the actual performance at hand.
No, I'm not saying. Would you let me finish?
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Golly.
This is because you guys are family, right? Because I have a business with my family, and I'm just like, I tell my brother all the time, I'm like.
That said, I have no idea if we go down the next part of this.
I
like,
tell
now
my
we're going on,
brother-
like, total merit. I don't know.
I tell my brother all the time, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You know that, right? I don't even know how we're still in business.
We have the benefit of not growing up together.
Yeah.
But.
And our parents aren't the same people.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
that's true. That's true.
That's true.
And at least you can like bond and like in-law stuff.
So what I want to do is I want to get a transcript of Tony's composition and put it on my wall.
Okay, stop being so. Okay, enough.
That's sentimental.
Enough. Let's pick a winner.
Roberto is a longtime fan, and we've supported some of his causes here in San Marcos.
You would make a great politician.
I would make a great politician.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I'm thinking about running for San Marcos mayor. Heads up.
No, we're judging the song. Let's judge the song.
Number 2. I go number 2. I mean,
like it's 1 or 2 for me. Like, yeah.
I say number 2.
Should we do a fight to the death?
Well, I'm on the fence.
trial
on
by
1 or 2.
combat?
Should we do a little
Oh
fight
my gosh.
club?
You were spoiling Game of Thrones the other day for me.
What?
Can we do trial by combat?
No. I'm a week behind on Game of Thrones.
Listen,
no spoilers on this podcast.
It's not my fucking fault
No
that
spoilers
you
on
haven't
this
watched
podcast.
it. What
Or
do you
I'm out.
mean?
I'm just. Well, it was just like, oh, spoiler alert! This is what happened, and it was.
All right. Full disclosure, I was 1 or 2, and if he's solidly 2, then it's 2.
2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, number 2.
The California, yes, she's crafty with
You
Altmeyer and
win!
Lewis.
Get excited.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Come,
Now,
come on.
Who claims credit for that?
I don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
It just happened.
So I have
that
2.
just happened.
I have 2 spots on the bus. You guys want to go together? Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I don't know what happened to our musical guest.
Shane's right there.
Shane, come back. No, he's done.
Get Shane.
He's done with it. He's had enough.
No.
Fuck this podcast.
Shane was taking a break from his music
All
to
right,
let
perfect.
other music take course.
So, no, you're gonna play. No, you're good. You're good, man. You're good. Real fast, you guys tell me what you have coming up here at the brewery that we can let our listeners know about.
See, as far as production, I will start brewing. Hopefully, if everything comes in this on Monday. Tuesday, we will do our Munich Lager, which is our placeholder for an Oktoberfest. It's it's an Oktoberfest style beer, but it'll be a Munich Lager and not a true Marzen. And then maybe this winter we're doing a stout.
We're going to look at running the stout, but we have our Hefeweizen is our seasonal.
Okay.
The plan as it stands right now is to cut that October 1st and bring back the red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which had a lot of compliments last fall. I'd like to run the stout. Yeah. See if we can do that. See what the reception is on that, and then go from there. Head through the winter. You know, we've got the 4 core brands. We've got the German Lager, the Bock, the Double IPA, and we're going to continue running the Smash. The Smash is actually that'll be a series.
Yeah.
Right now we have the Smash Pale Ale.
Okay.
The next keg out will be a Smash Pale Bitter, more of a British style. And then we'll get into our seasonal stuff. So
perfect.
Yeah.
And for Easter, I've got a egg pale ale.
Okay. Oh, that sounds delicious. There's nothing I love more than egg flavored beer.
the chicken beer is coming.
Can't wait for that one. All right. Okay, Shane, real fast, tell people where they can follow you and find your music.
ShaneWalkerMusic.com. You can listen to tracks and see where shows happen.
Awesome. You ready to play another song for us?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the name of the song?
Hang on, let me get my guitar.
I'm sorry. My bad. Fuck.
My bad too. Not having my guitar.
All right, you do your thing, man.
All right. So this is the guitar.
I gave my love a cherry that had no stone.
Karaoke.
Can we do some Third Eye Blind?
We could.
Oh, Creed only.
All right, here we go. Let's see here.
You're the sweetheart of the cool and cred. Let it all go to your head. With the whole world wrapped around your finger. Not a songbird, just a singer. And the burns on the wires like sheet music lines. 8 notes flying off the page, scatter in the sky. Time is never on your side. Time is never on your side. The Empress in brand new clothes, long as the illusion holds. And when no one asks, no one cares, bite your nails to say your prayers. And the burns on the wires like sheet music lines. 8 notes flying off the page, scatter in the sky. Time is never on your side. Time is never on your side. The sweetheart of the cool and cred, let it all go to your head. With the whole world wrapped around your finger, not a songbird, just a singer.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
The She's Crafty podcast has only one mission, and that is to dominate this planet with a love of craft beer and comedy. You can help us do that by going to iTunes and rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the She's Crafty podcast. The more people that do that, the higher our rankings will get in iTunes, and the more people will listen to us. The more people that listen to us, the more badass fucking episodes we can put out every week. So go to iTunes and rate, review, and subscribe to the She's Crafty podcast.